Truth, episode 3.2. I'm Andy Sikora.
And I'm Matt Kitchen. Social Truth is the internet television show for the popular website, socialtruth.com. Where we post a lot of stories, discuss them, and bring our favorites to you in this very show right here, and talk about what they tell us about truth in our society.
Yes, indeed.
And we're just going to roll right into the first show.
Let's do it.
Our first story. Yeah.
Either way.
First story, Afghan Christian convert is released. Kabul, Afghanistan. An Afghan man threatened with the death penalty for converting to Christianity has been released from prison. Senior Western diplomat said Tuesday his whereabouts were not immediately known because he didn't want to die.
Exactly.
Okay. Afghanistan follows Islamic law. So apparently in Islamic law, it's illegal to convert to Christianity.
At least in Afghanistan.
At least in Afghanistan. Right. So many Muslim leaders in the area are calling for his death. And they're like, hey, kill the man because he converted to Christianity.
Right.
He converted to Christianity 16 years ago. He's now 41.
Somehow was able to keep it quiet.
Somehow, I know. Well, he was a medical aid worker for an international non-governmental organization. It came out that he was a Christian during a civil case. So, like, I'm sure, like, maybe a few people knew, but they weren't going to tell him because they wanted him to die. And then, like, somebody sued him. And they're like,
oh, by the way, did you know he was a Christian?
He's a Christian. Give me my money and kill him.
Yeah. Seriously.
But like seriously, like people were just like up in arms, like protesting this. And I thought it was really interesting that they were not only protesting the fact that he was a Christian, but they like because I think Christianity was so associated with America that they were protesting like anti-Bush and like a whole bunch of other stuff to go along with that. And so the U.S. was willing to withhold money from Afghan rebuilding government if they didn't release him. And they did release him. So,
don't you think it's strange that we helped set up a government that would still kill people for changing religion? Like, when we went in there and we tore down the Taliban government, we set up this new government that seems to run a lot like the old government.
Right.
It's a little strange
without
to me.
the funding of terrorism, supposedly.
Oh, sure.
But, well, how much can you rebuild and where can you, I mean, we can't impose Christianity on them.
No, I'm not saying we should impose Christianity, but how about not murdering people who like other religions?
You know, that's Islamic law, though. And,
sure.
So basically what I'm saying is that, okay, the man has a belief in Christianity.
Sure.
Props to you, right on. But you cannot be stopped. So it's real, if it's honest, whether you kill him or not, it cannot be stopped. And he wasn't going to renounce it for the fact that they wanted to kill him.
Yeah, I think that's
And I think that's where the truth comes in. That it was real, it was honest, it was strong, and it wasn't going to leave, and you couldn't stop it.
That's true.
So luckily the man found, not exile, but whatever that other word is, safe.
protection.
Yeah, basically
he's part of the witness
I
protection.
think he's in like Italy or France or...
Do we really know that?
Yeah, he's seriously, no, he's made it to, I think, Italy.
Can I just point out my favorite part of the story is how crazy this dude looks in this picture? This is the picture that shows up everywhere, and hopefully we can put that as a screenshot.
I'll put it up on that.
He looks kind of nuts, but I respect him.
Next.
Rest in peace, Arrested Development. Critics fave, not given room to grow. I feel so stupid for saying the words that I just said. Fave.
You said fave.
And I could have said R.I.P.
I know.
Okay. The Blues are out of business. Arrested Development, the critically praised but low-rated Fox show that won an Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series, as well as Emmys for writing, will not be resurrected on Showtime, as rumors circulating for months have suggested.
I didn't even know that.
Yes,
going around.
it's done. So this is the thing. It bums me out because I don't know that I've ever laughed so hard at a show in my life. It was it was a great. Just keep it to yourself.
We'll do.
It was a great show.
The Office, Seinfeld.
It was a great show. It had low ratings. I'm going to be honest. It had low ratings and
because.
Well, I'll tell you why. Hold on. It had low ratings, and this is why Fox cut it. And they had this new show on Monday nights called Prison Break that they started out that was getting these spectacular ratings, and then they put Arrested Development before that, and ratings dived down for Prison Break, and they blamed Arrested Development. And this is what I would say. It's not Arrested Development's fault that people realize Prison Break sucks, Fox. The dude's got a map out of the jail tattooed on his stomach.
I'll try to lower the volume. I apologize.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So wait. So they're saying that because Arrested Development aired on the same night that ratings went down.
Yeah, that's what they say. It wasn't a good lead-in show.
People were trying to avoid Arrested Development.
Yeah, that's what they said. They didn't hold an audience or something. So the other parts were that it had high DVD sales. It was never given a good shot on a good time slot, right? They put it before Prison Break in the show called Kitchen Confidential that was just stupid. They also put it in the midst of cartoons. It never found a good home. You know, I understand why Fox had to cut it, but it really It was an amazing show.
One person posted that at least they gave it, because Fox is semi-notorious for cutting shows short.
After like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one guy posted, well, at least they gave it 3 years, which is true.
Which is true.
Three seasons is a fair trial.
Right.
So, but it was critically acclaimed, but why did it never catch on? Basically because the time slot. My question is was the humor too witty or too above most people's
This is what I think.
credentials of humor?
I think Arrested Development came out about 2 years too soon, because now you've got shows like The Office and what is that name or that show? My Name is Earl. You've got the show even on Fox called Free Ride, and it's all like no laugh track,
like Sons and Daughters.
Yeah, Sons and Daughters. Yeah. All these shows that are like new and smart and witty.
Funny.
People weren't ready for this. I don't think. I think that it would have lived on. It seemed like ABC really wanted the show and Showtime really wanted it. I know. I think that if they would, Fox was afraid they'd be embarrassed by like ABC picking it up and it turning into the #1 show. And luckily ABC has, according to Jim, to lean on, and everything's going to be just fine. It's the worst show
I'm sorry
ever.
If you watch according to Jim.
Ever. Okay. Do you have more you want to say on this?
No,
okay.
I'm cool.
My truth is this: no matter how good, smart, or funny a show is, it's still about who's paying the bills. And if a show gets low ratings, it's going to get cut. And while it may make me mad, and I might sign 1,000 petitions online, or one. Just kidding.
No, go ahead.
It's still a business, and
Right.
they have to do what they're going to do.
You have to do. And at least they gave it 3 seasons, and you got to enjoy 3 seasons.
And I've got them on DVD
Unlike
now.
my show, Firefly, which only got 1 season.
Right.
So, we hate you, Fox. Yes.
Nerd.
Sci-fi nerd.
Nerd.
Okay, last story. MLB announces probe into steroid use. Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig. When I posted this, I capitalized Bud because I think it's awesome. On Thursday, announced an investigation into steroid use by players after renewed allegations against slugger Barry Bonds and other players in the book Game of Shadows and all that kind of jazz. So, Bud Selig go to the probe. He named former U.S. Senator George Mitchell, I almost said George Michael, to leading the investigation. George Mitchell is, like I said, former U.S. Senator. Supposedly this, guy who's going to get down to it, really kind of get
brass
in there.
tacks. Except for
Get the steroid users. Except for he owns major interest in the Boston Red Sox.
And he is like the chairman of the Disney Corp, who owns ESPN, who is in partnership with Major League Baseball.
Yes.
By the way. Just by the way.
Yeah. So, Bud Selig
It's like my dad doing an investigation on whether or not I'm a bad kid.
What if they got McCain to do it? No.
McCain would just agree that steroids were bad, but let's move on.
Oh, shut up. It's so damn true. So, but another big thing about this was that advertising companies were beginning to take the sponsorships away because they don't want to be associated with this whole
Or at least
thing.
they wouldn't celebrate Barry Bonds and those kind of things.
They weren't going to be on. So I think that was interesting. I think that was a major part of why he did this because we all know this steroid thing has been around for like
10 years at least.
Yeah, at least 10 years. And Selig has never done jack
Right.
about it.
If I were going to say anything, and I posted this on socialtruth.com in a response to this.
He loves this post, by the way. So let him go with it.
I do not think that this is the right move. I mean, sure, investigate, that's fine. But what are they going to do? They're going to suspend players for things that happened 8 years ago? They're going to wipe the record books? I mean, these are all options, but they're never going to happen.
Right, like people would go crazy if McGuire was
it's never going to happen. What should happen is this. Bud Selig should stand up and say, I screwed up. I was in charge, and in the time that I was in charge, steroids were going rampant, and I did nothing about it, and I had no idea. And because of that, I apologize for ruining the game and that All-Star game, and the one where he ended it in a tie. Still mad about that. And because of that, I'm resigning.
Okay,
that's what I think.
And I think that's what he should have done, but he didn't, and so we can't discuss that. Here's the thing, though: to do what's right. This is pretty much contrary to last 3.1 we talked about Canada and how it's strong for them to do something right, but the opposite, where they did something right away. With this, to do what's right only after you're backed up against a wall is pretty weak, I think.
It's weak.
But is it better than doing nothing? I guess
I don't know.
Better, you can't just leave it alone, so it's good to do nothing, but Selig, you're weak.
You're weak, Selig.
So that's all we got to say. So thanks for tuning in to Social Truth 3.2. Catch us next week on Monday or Tuesday for 4.1. So enjoy, guys. Take it easy.
We'll see you.
Bye.